the axe kick. Today we're going to discuss everything about this. Is it a waste of time? Is it a secret KO shot which you should be working? Let's find out. To limit your offense to just a couple basic techniques, like, okay, I have a cross, I have hooks, and I have big round kicks, maybe a knee. It's foolish. There are so many good techniques from all the different fight styles which you can incorporate into your game. And when you can do that, you can make your opponent very fearful of what's going to come next. It doesn't mean that you need to throw axe kicks or spinning hook kicks or spinning back fists and make those your primary techniques. But if you throw one per round, you get people thinking. And that's the trick behind creative offense. By the way, my offense course, which goes into so much more depth beyond what we're talking about today, it is on sale right now for $99, plus you get my defense course, which, to be real, is what everybody should be doing. Offense and defense, $99, 67% savings, with over 50 videos for you to browse through and learn so much from a two-time Glory World Champion. Now, the axe kick. This is something that I was very good at years ago because I was doing point fighting. And all you're trying to do is just tap or brush your partner. And it was something that was very difficult for people to block. But as I moved into kickboxing, I started realizing, maybe this isn't a technique for me. Maybe it's not something that I need to have in my arsenal, because how easy is it to really damage somebody? And what I want to talk about today is actually, before we get into the more detailed stuff, the fact that my brother was so good at this. He could take his leg, drop his heel right on people's heads, and there was one fight where he did that. This massive clunk right on top of the guy's head. Didn't have any effect in terms of the guy got dizzy and got knocked down. He probably had a big goose egg up there, but didn't do anything. And that's when I realized, I'm going to stop having people utilize this in my pad work. Stop calling for me to throw it. But there are things that we can do to make this more dangerous. Very first thing, what's the striking surface? Well, obviously, if we want to be nice, if I'm trying to be nice and I'm in sparring and I want to throw it, I'm going to point my toes. So it's my toes brushing down the top of their head. If I want to be mean, I'm pulling those toes back and I'm coming down with the heel. Now the heel could land here. If you don't come straight down, it could even come sort of sideways and clip something like the jaw or the temple. You could even bring it down right on the neck. Those are all possibilities. I want to talk about Andy Hoog because he was one of the few people that managed to actually score knockdowns with the axe kick. Very difficult to find anybody who can do that. When I went onto YouTube and typed in axe kick knockouts, Andy Hoog was the only person. But, this is the big caveat, but he was doing it against karate opponents. When he was in K1, he was landing it, but I did not find any clips of him landing clean knockdowns with just strictly the axe kick. Against karate guys, he was. What's the difference? K1 fighters are used to head impact. Kyokushin fighters are not so happy to get hit here. And because of it, they seem to fold a little bit easier. So I think it depends on the skill level, not just the skill level, but the durability of this person up to the head, how comfortable they are taking shots. Some people might drop, some people may not. But heel is going to be the striking surface. Now I saw a video the other day of somebody doing axe kicks. And they were holding like a bow staff. And the drill was you have to get your leg up, the bow staff under your foot, and then you can snap out. So it was kind of like, hoo-wah-bam, something like that. I've never done it like that. I always go straight leg. The reason I go straight leg, just like Andy Hoog did, is because it is so much more powerful. Yes, I can come here and then extend my leg out and shoot it down, but when I'm looking for that real power, it's the whip and the drop. If you want to get that massive power though, you have to be so flexible. Like I have not stretched since my workout today, and I threw my leg up to do a couple little practice axe kicks and I was going, oh, my hamstring. And I'm probably only bringing it up about this high. Andy Hoog was getting way up here. Thigh almost flush to his chest. And that's how he was able to gain so much power, not by bending his leg and then straightening it, but by keeping it straight and tossing it right up. That's what you need to do. Now, when you do an axe kick, you guys know, you're not bringing it right up the middle, because that's just going to hit them in the groin. We have to come to the outside, or we have to come, or the inside or the outside, one of the two. And then I drop it in the end down the middle. Which one is better? Totally personal preference. I prefer to do my axe kick like this. Many people like to come to this side and then drop it down. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter at all. The only thing I can possibly think of in terms of arguing one is better than the other is if I see him about to throw an axe kick and I throw a teep. If I'm coming this direction, my stomach is wide open. If I come this direction, they're more likely to just teep and slide off the hip or the glute. But what is the best way to set up an axe kick? Aside from just being here and just going, oh, okay, I'm just gonna whip it up and throw it. Obviously, I could put some hands on him first, but I've really jammed my distance. So a lot of times the reason we see people throw this as a single technique is distance-wise, we want extra extension. And when Andy Hoog threw, he even got a big pivot out of this foot to help create more distance. So he was even back further. So how do we set it up when we're so far away? Well, we use a couple different techniques beforehand to get them thinking of something else. Maybe I'm here and I chop into my low kick, and I chop into my low kick again. I get them thinking about that, and then I look down and then I whip and drop that axe kick. Again, if you're trying to get that massive knockout, it's probably unlikely, and we need to be extra careful that our leg does not get caught up here, because this guy only has to do one of two things to be effective in his defense. He's either going to step backwards, which means I'm just going to end up missing, just going to whiff the kick, or he steps in. And I love doing this. If somebody throws an axe kick at me, I just lift my hand up, almost like a traditional karate high block. I just go like this, and I pressure forward. And then all of a sudden, this kick, which was going to land with the heel, now is more like this range, and you're up here, and they're catching you on the calf. It's more like the calf is getting caught, and when they start pushing you back, you're done. Absolutely done. So you don't want to just throw this and just hope it lands. You want to set it up, in my opinion. Throw something like a front kick, get them worried about the distance. Throw the low kick, get them worried about the distance, and then whip that kick up and drop it down. And obviously, the faster you drop, the more power you are going to get. So if you want to be doing something muscle-wise to strengthen it, you want to be doing, in my opinion, some little aggressive pullbacks, maybe with a resistance band around your ankle. I attach it to there, to the wall. I sort of go out here and I just practice that kind of swinging motion. I'll engage a little hamstring, a little glute, and just getting that whip backwards, because once we reach max height, it's all about cutting down as fast as we possibly can and making sure our leg does not get hooked up there. We don't want it up there where it gets stuck and we just get pushed over or attacked while we're on one foot. Terrible position to be in for more than that split second where you hit and you come back to your proper stance. So overall, as I said, the axe kick has been eliminated from my arsenal. Sure, you could go into a couple of my fights. I think when I fought for this, I threw a little silly one in the 5th round. I was just kind of standing there and just kind of went like whoop, and it didn't do anything. But again, it gets him thinking. So if nothing else, it gets this guy a little bit out of that space where he's going, oh, all they're throwing are those traditional power techniques. Boom, 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 stuff like that. Extra stuff on the mind means it's more likely to land when you do put in those good traditional power shots. So most likely gone from my arsenal, but there is an argument to continue utilizing it as long as you're doing everything today that I mentioned. That's all, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, train hard, and I will see you back here very soon.